Okay, thank you. In taking this type of approach, is it just a natural thing that you work with people who know what they're doing?
I find it fascinating how tough it is to find people that know what they're doing. And it's also amazing how quickly somebody will respond and say, well, I've been doing this for 10 years. Does that mean you know what you're doing? Or I've done this 100 times, and you're like, I don't know if those are the 100 ways I want to do it this time. So no, it doesn't happen automatically, and often it takes quite a bit of cajoling and sourcing to find folks that know what they're doing.
So as you work with people, once you find them who know what they're doing, is the contract used more? And is the contract bigger and more complex? Or have you found that all you need is a very simple contract to work with people who know what they're doing?
When people know what they're doing, the contract stays in the drawer. And I spend a tremendous amount of my time trying to relieve them from doing all of the things they don't know how to do or don't celebrate doing so that they can do what they know and do what they do well. One of the things that I found in my job as it stands is I spend a tremendous amount of time allowing the expert to do the things that they're an expert at and taking away all of the other things that are being asked of them, taking away the things they're not an expert at. And I spend a lot of time doing that. So if it's financing a project or carrying debt capacity, I don't want an expert in my business doing that. I would rather they do what they celebrate doing. And so I would say a tremendous amount of effort. In fact, close to half my effort goes into getting experts back into the role that they're meant to do and out of the things that they're not intended to do. So the question is I made the statement I spend half of my time relieving experts for doing things that they're not experts at. And can I give you an example of what that means? So we had talked a little bit about contracts and about how arduous they can get. And if you think of a contract as nothing more than a risk allocation device, I mean, truly. When we get contracts that are misaligned with the services that we provide, what does it sort of force us to do? It forces costs to go up, right? Because we're carrying now buckets of contingency or insurance to say, well, I don't really know what happens there, so I'm making some gross assumptions. And the grander those gross assumptions get, the higher the dollar amount gets. I spend a lot of time, so if I gave you a specific example, making sure that the contracts that I'm giving to a subcontractor or a vendor align with the expertise that they have. And that I'm not asking them to go and do a multiple tier agreement with another vendor in order to cover those services, or to spend where they're going to spend a majority of their intellectual capital on these subjects that they don't fully understand. I find that arduous contracts that ask them to be responsible for things that they shouldn't takes their expertise and dilutes it. It puts it across things that they have no business being involved in. And so when I say I spend a lot of time, if I've got what I think is one of the world's greatest technology providers, I want them focused on the technology and not the backbone and the pipeline that connects the points. So I will go and find that expertise to cover that project risk and subcompartmentalize that contract. What I see when I do that are a lot of smiling faces. I see a lot of efficiency, and I see a lot more transparency. Because when you're trying to ask somebody to do something they're not an expert at, they really don't know where they stand. Maybe they want to give you the transparency, I doubt it, but they can't even sort of articulate the path that gets them from point A to point B.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel for more content. If you have any questions about the best value approach or for Dr. Dean, leave them in the comment section below and we'll get to them in a later video. Thanks. We'll see you next time.